Hey up, I'm Bill and welcome back to another episode of RimWorld. Let's keep things moving along and continuing moving forwards, because that's what we really need to do. Now, we've had a very good start in the past few episodes, but we need to continue pushing this as far as possible. Oh, that was a bit of lightning. Now, I know that one of the issues after recapping and going through some of the previous episodes is wood. Now, since there's no wood for the fueled stove, we aren't actually doing anything about this alpha meat, which will spoil, unfortunately. I think we've still got enough pemmican to keep us going, but that's not the point. So someone needs to get around to refueling the stove, which means no more wooden creations, preferably. I think most of these have, those two pieces of work that's still requiring to be done have the wood. So I think we're fine there, but no. We need to get more wood in our storage, which is... oh, actually, never mind. It seems like people are actually getting around to doing it. So maybe if they can haul some of it in once they've finished chopping it down, that would be nice. Trosma, you're making wart. How about if you haul some wood in while you're at it? Same with you, Falcon. And Kanga, over here. Awesome, thank you. That means you should get around to fueling the stove eventually, or someone will. What are you doing? Hauling wood to torch blueprint. Okay, that's fair enough. Where else do we have a torch blueprint? Okay, I wonder if I can just force you... Yep, you're already fueling the stove. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Because once this stove is refueled, of course, we can get some food again. So hopefully cooking is priority number one. Hopefully. I wonder, is anyone going to use the stove, or am I going to just... oh yeah, there we are. So it is happening again. We are unfortunately probably going to lose some meat just like that. But, you know, we got a bit more peppermint. It's not peppermint. It's, what is it called? Peppercan. Peppercan? Yeah. Anyhow, so one of the other things we need to take a look at is the fermenting barrel. Now, Catherine has certainly made a point that we might have issues when it comes to the temperature. Above 30 and below 7 is the ideal temperature. Temperature actually inside is 20, so we may be safe as long as things are kept relatively consistent. So we may be lucky. Now, I will keep an eye on it from time to time again, but I will expect that I'll forget it partway through the episode and then start working on something else, because that's what I tend to do. Anyhow, one of the other things we need to start looking at is expanding the storage, which I'm thinking maybe turning this one into its own little room, and then extending the storage down and across. Because I want to keep this sort of three-door pattern. Three-door intersection. I think just bridging these two rooms into one big room will break that effect. So I'm going to work on planning out a new area to mine out. Now, we certainly couldn't... it wouldn't hurt if we had a bit more steel around the place. Let's see, if we look in our storage, you have 120. That's not bad. I guess for the time being we can leave it. Yeah, better to leave it than to use it. Now onto the storage area. So probably going to go something like... because I just realised if we do end up mining into the mountain, we will have the issue with bugs again. I know we do run a small risk with bugs in, say, areas like here and maybe up top. Keep it outside. Those bugs were pretty much the death of us in the previous series. So expanding the storage will probably... oh, what's that? Yorkshire Terrier joints. Okay, fair enough. Don't really care too much for Yorkshire Terriers. Now, we can make a second room just up on the top section, or one space gap between most of the areas where possible. Whoops, one over. And cancel those... cancel? There we are. Cancel those two pieces of work. So that's another room that we can give to a person, and that leaves us with, what, one extra room that we need to make? And then this one itself can be turned into the last bedroom. So that should do the job there. The other thing I might do is shift the pemmican into this room, just for storage reasons. So let's get around to getting the orders. So zones, stockpile, and we'll just make a small little zone, probably something like that, just for pemmican. So it's a critical priority because we want all the pemmican in there. It's closest to all the seats and whatnot. And temperature-wise, it doesn't matter, so it's safe to put it there. So let's see, let's clear all, go into manufactured, I'm assuming, or is it under food? Yeah, it's under food. There we go. Mark that as what we need to be putting in that stockpile. That should get done. Oops, I should have also worked out where I was going to place the door. I like the idea of placing the door just... Oops, can I... That's the wrong button again. Try again. Cancel that job and we'll place the door just there. It's in a different location as some of the previous places, but I think it's going to be fine. So mine out this one just leaves us with a bit more of an even space, sort of in line with a lot of things, you know, door at the end of the hallway. Where else are we looking at? And also, can't mine it, we have to deconstruct this wall here. It's not really a great location for the wall. I believe I was intending to wall this area off into just one sort of misshaped compound, but since we've got walls on the outside, I think we're safe there. So no, we can actually go and place this one in a proper room. So probably here, because we can't actually fit a proper bench along this edge because of the two sets of doors. And cancel this job. Deconstruct it. And what else is done here? Okay, so we need to reset up the bills. So the short bows, I think we could have maybe 5, 10. 10's not a bad number. Just a few around the place. Going down to 5 because we just want to be able to sell a few of them where possible, just for a little bit of extra cash. I know we could start working on art, but I don't think we will do that right away. Also, smoke leaf joint. I don't think we have harvested any smoke leaf right now, but might as well prepare it. So do forever and put that first, preferably. So let that happen, but we'll see how it goes in the morning. Awesome. So that bedroom is actually done now, and they're actually pulling all the pemmican over into this room. So that gives us a bit of free space in this zone here, which is what I'd like to see. And it's also nice and close, so we don't have to worry about people running from one side of the compound to the other to get items. And things just slow down. Why? I don't like that. We're not under a raid or attack or anything. Don't see any issues. I wonder what's this animal doing. It is just wandering. Oh, right. Because they talked about we got some Yorkshire Terriers, but I didn't actually realise it was that many Yorkshire Terriers. Right. Do we want to restrict them to the home zone? They are liable to eat our food. That said, they're not going to be eating grass on the outside. I might as well just restrict to everyone inside, and we'll just, maybe get rid of the terriers where possible if a traders come past. Actually, I know what might have slowed down the game. Maybe a cobra was attacking these Yorkshire Terriers, because we've seen that in the season 2. For some reason, cobras love small animals. That includes monkeys. They'll attack anything on sight. Now, our wort, or our fermenting barrel, it is still producing the beer. Still got another 9 days. It's quite a while. Oh, and uranium ore. Hello, where were we mining? Up the top, that's actually uranium. Right, I don't know if we really need uranium around right now, but I guess we've got it, if we ever intend to use it for anything. So, out of curiosity, was it put in the stockpile? Don't see it from first glance. Maybe it was just a single block there and they didn't actually mine into it. I can recheck the video at a later point in time anyhow, so that's fine. Now, I'm thinking make another bedroom up here, so let's get a proper bed in. So double bed of wood. We have the wood. Yes, we have the wood for sure. Okay. And I might place this one at the opposite end, because it is the same spacing, that door's sort of in the middle. Yeah, it's in the middle. So we'll place it opposite ends, just maybe a bit of a mirror effect there, which I think will turn out fine for us. So that's one other room done, and then yeah, there's not too much more we have to do after that. So what's going on? 2 colonists idle. Okay, we need to get more work. Oh, that's pretty easy. I was just sort of not helping. Not helping. What am I trying to say? I could have easily queued up a few extra bits of work to be done. Probably maybe a bit more hunting when it comes to meat, because I think we've run out of meat. By the looks of it, yeah. We've got a relatively large colony for early games. And yeah, I think also we can get maybe a couple of plants in like that, and that should help. Also, remembering to mark this one as not medical, because food does not need it to be medical anymore. So, food, let's give you your bed back. There you go. That should make you a little happier. And get rid of these planning zones. I'm surprised they're still up. That's not planning zones. Remove planning zones, just because we already know what we're putting there. Don't think there's any other zones planned. No. Okay, that's fine. Awesome, so I think that turns out well, and does mean that we don't have a lot of pemmican around. I wonder if it's worth moving the meals over to this room as well. No, I think just the pemmican, because if we do intend to put freezers or anything, I don't know. We'll have to work out how we're going to balance the calls in the future. Guess it's not so much or something we have to worry about now. And food poisoning. What was I saying? I'm going to queue up more work. So yeah, that elk has been marked for hunting. So maybe if we... No, everyone's unrestricted. Is it something to do with hunting? Yes, Fu is really the only person designated to be hunting. I might bump that up to a 2, because we always want plant cutting come first where possible. Construction, repair, I think we're still fine there, so no, I'll leave that like so. And then Fu will eventually get outside and hunt this elk. It may be worth just forcing Fu to do it now, rather than later. What are you doing? You're wandering. Not in a bad mood, are you? Nope, you've got tattered apparel. I really should fix that. And you can only rescue. How about melee attack, rescue? You're missing a gun, aren't you? You are. Oh, that's an easy fix. Let's give you a machine pistol, because that would be a bit of fun. Shan't we kill the animals fast? Hopefully you don't damage the meat, or if that's really a thing. And yep, you can hunt the elk now. Awesome. And more food poisoning. May not be worth keeping those simple meals around anymore. Okay, well we got the elk, which we've been sitting out there, and keeping the meat fresh. So it'll be useful. We'll see how it goes. Well, I guess in the next morning. Now I think it's time to be a little bit grand. And another animal self-tamed. Wow, what is going on? Might end up using that for meat or selling it. I don't know. But no, let's be a little bit grand. We haven't built anything for a small amount of time, and I really want to get around to rebuilding something. So what we're going to do is actually turn this into one big old storage room. I think we'll dump anything. Do we turn it into a dumping yard? I don't know. And I'm just trying to remember not to mine out too much as well, because as I said earlier on, I don't want to run the risk of dealing with bugs again. They were a disaster last time, and they could be the death of us this time. And yeah, you're cutting everything up, awesome. And the research is still going, cool. So it means eventually we'll get around to stone cutting, then we can get walls and the rest of the works, which is really good. I think we're managing this really well for just the start of the game. But the other thing we can do is actually get another 2 fermenting barrels along the edge. I wonder, is it worth making... Yeah, I need to make sure there's a fairly large amount of large set of beer around the place, just to make sure that Val stays happy and we don't have to worry too much about their moods. So there we are. It's another 2 sets of not wort, 2 sets of barrels. Hopefully that's enough. Hopefully this room is okay, stays the right temperature. Sorry, I'm a little bit having a bit of trouble trying to concentrate on the game and talking at the same time for some reason today. Apologise for that, but major break risk, yeah, we know about that. So hopefully, like I was saying, temperature stays constant and we continue making beer. Of course, I think we need, a bit more water around the place. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll get a few extra wort set up. Okay, it's got another 12 wort and stone cutting. Huzzah. There we go. Now, drug production might be something. Don't think we're going to head towards that one. I think electricity would be nice at this point. This is going to take a hell of a long time because we're Neolithic. Maybe it's worth getting complex clothing, because it's better clothing for our people, and then they can stop complaining about tattered apparel. That could be something. Now let's do complex clothing. So that's another bit of work for Val. And yeah, there we are. That's the Ibex ram. So in terms of its capabilities, it's only intermediate. That's right, we can actually check from this list anyhow, because I would have liked it if some of these animals we could actually train to haul. But no, none of these animals can haul, which kind of sucks. Because you know me, I prefer animals which can haul. Now I just realised as well, we don't have any plant material for making more pemmican. I guess I'll have to go on a bit of a flagging spree here. So let's go and mark harvest and see if there's anything nearby. Oh, there's one berry bush. Not another one. That's all harvestable. Okay. Get it done, please. Because we need the plant material right now. Guess I could try and flag a bit further out. Yeah, there's a few things. Well, hopefully people get it done. Oh, of course people are going to get it done. We've got the we've got enough people around the place to do so. Also, this door I just realised doesn't need to exist anymore because this is all really outside area, just very loads of close buildings together. And yep, awesome. Out of curiosity, 98% grown. Yeah, that's fine. Same with this one, 97. And yeah, okay, well we've got the plant material now, so that should allow us to keep making the pemmican with no issues whatsoever. Okay, so when people go to sleep again tonight, which I guess in theory will be very soon, I'll work out who to give this bed to, because I don't know who's missing a bed right now. And yeah, that's a lot of animals. Oh, and rare thrombos. Well, we aren't going to play around with those. No way. Not with the amount of firepower that we currently have. Okay, so I can see Kanga, Falcon and Trosma are currently down the bottom. I think Falcon gave up their bed for Sparkles, which we haven't recruited yet. So I guess we can give Falcon this bed. I think that's only fair, since your bed was taken away from you. So assign you that bed and recruit, and yep, you can go over to your bed. So any other spare bedrooms? No, it doesn't look like it, which is a bit of a shame. And yet, there's a Thumbo. Just don't wander too close to our base, otherwise that might be a little bit difficult to deal with. So now let's get over here. I want to mark out a few things to actually build. It's a nice big area. Of course we're going to have to replace the walls and whatnot. So let's get the planning tool out and say, let's see, this is a 4x5. Let's see if we can get another 4x5, because it's a nice shape and it still keeps our colonists relatively happy. So a 4x 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's internal, so actually one more around the outside there. See, I kind of wish you could have different markings for the planning tools, so that might make things easier, or even a right click. I would like a right click. So that's 5x4 internal, it is. Leave a gap for for a walkway of sorts, I think. Yeah, just in case we decide to go into the mountain, which I know of course is risky, but tight corridors should help us out there. And go another, what's that? 5 internal and then 4 across. 4 plus wall. And of course it doesn't leave us with a lot of space over there. That doesn't look right. Let's see. It is 4 internal, okay. Maybe I'm just going to turn this into maybe another storage room. Long-term storage maybe? That's a thought. And these bedrooms are starting to get too far away from our main facility anyhow. But then again, there isn't much room, especially with this marshland over on the right. And I don't suspect we could fit many rooms off of here without touching the outside wall, which is what I've been trying to avoid where possible. Okay, how about we can't... I want to keep like a one wide pathway where possible. Okay, maybe I'll just... I won't... Oops, wrong tool. Try it again. Maybe I won't go ahead and mark that room out, but maybe I can... very least go 5x5. Oh, the other idea was to go 5 across. That might actually work out better. 5 wall. What's that? 5. That still doesn't work out. So no. I was right the first time when I said that we couldn't fit it there. So now we're going to continue going on something like this. So this was, where was I? 5. So that's a 5 and then wall. Fortunately, that doesn't line up very nicely. Now, that's not a big issue though. We could just continue walling over to that area if we really wanted to. But no, that just tells us... Wrong tool again. It just tells us what we can fit... Excuse me? Okay, I must have misselected that several times there. But no, that just tells us we can fit another 2 rooms, which is what we need. And I guess, as much as I probably don't want to, we could just put another, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... wall... 5... 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, wall, it's meant to be up there. So 5 wall, 5 wall. Can't believe I made that mistake. Yeah, that is a little more off. I think we could probably just deal with it by putting a room here, or maybe even removing this field, because it's not very complete, especially with all the stonework around the place. No, I think doing something like that will probably work out. And let's get the 4 on the internal edge. So 4 internal pulls up. And there we go. It gives us a 2 wide walkway and a 1 wide on the outside. I think we can live if it's a 2 wide walkway in this area. It doesn't follow the same design as this area, but it's not the end of the world. It is the end of the world, actually. Never mind, I'm going to do it like this. We're going to pull it 1 in. So one person gets a slightly bigger room than some of the others. So yeah, it doesn't look too off. Oops, get out this tool again. And yep, cool. Yeah, so we got the 1 wide pathway, which should keep us safe from bugs. Because I don't think bugs will spawn in a 1 wide corridor. Well, we'll have to give that a try. So let's actually get around to building it with the wood that we have, the 300 and something units, which actually sounds like I should plan out some or more trees to be chopped. Well, let's get around. So this area should, in theory, be mined. It is cold snap. Okay, watch out for dying crops. That may be a bit of an issue for our wart. Oh, okay, I'm going to keep an eye on that in just a second. But I do want to start marking this out, which was checking that this area was to be mined, which it is. Okay, so cold snap. Watch out for crops dying. Well, our crops have just been harvested. We might lose the hops. It's not the end of the world. I think we're fine there. Yeah, so just get the hauling done, it's a big thing. And let's see, what's the temperature inside here? That's 3 degrees. Oh, that could spoil our hops. Let's see. Fermenting speed multipliers 59%. Okay, but it doesn't say that it's bad or anything, as Cathra has suggested. So maybe a lower temperature is actually safer than a higher temperature. It's a thought, but how about this? I think the easy thing right now is to... Where is it? It's under structure? No. Yeah, there it is. Get a torch, because it does provide a small amount of heat, and that might just be enough to warm up this room. Do something a little safer. So I'll get someone to work on that ASAP. So probably... Who's closest to a stockpile? Yeah, Fu. We're going to get you to work on the lamp. That should help us out. Hopefully. Get it done. And yep, now it's up to 5, 6, and 7 ideal temperature range. Awesome. Exactly what I want to see. So I think we're safe if we do keep it going with something like that. And yet these plants I think will start dying off anyhow if it starts getting colder. -9. Yeah, we were working on clothing. We are. So that should help people out when we can get a few more pieces of quality clothing to use. Yep, awesome. So mine out those last 2 bits and then we can make another 4 rooms and that should do us well. Though, I really don't want to do this, but we need the storage space. Part of me really wants to dig into the mountain for more storage. Oh, could we fit some more storage up here? I guess we could. Or we could expand, say to left. It's an idea. I mean, we've got the wood to expand on left. And yeah, I need to pause this because I'm letting too many people be idle while we're running out of food. So actually, how about if I set up more hunting jobs? So maybe Kangas can do a bit of hunting. I'll set that as a 2. And who else? Maybe a 6 for Falcon. And I'll mark a few animals to be hunted. Not the, whatever this was called, Thumbo. Because that would be bad. He'll die if they decide to attack him. But just realised I don't see any animals on first glance. Oh no, wait, highlight. There we are. Let's hunt the... let's hunt 3 of them. Hopefully they don't wander off the map. But people should get around to doing it. Though one of the first things. Yep. Yeah, that gives us the meat, which means we can make some more pemmican. And hey, there's actually some caribou down below. Oh yeah, I just realised animals. As much as I would love to sell these animals, I think we might end up eating them. Because they're just consuming a lot of our food, which isn't helping. Oh, and caribou revenge. Right, it's only a single caribou, isn't it? Yep, so Kanga, we're going to recruit you. Fu, we're going to recruit you. And we're going to get you to fire at the caribou. Kanga, I'm going to get you to run away. I don't know if you'll run fast enough to slow it down. Yep, make sure we can continue hitting the caribou. I'll let Fu continue hitting the caribou and take a few shots. Awesome. Unrecruit, let you go about your day. And you're hunting that caribou. Oh, it's still alive. That's not very good. Shoot to kill, preferably. Not shoot to injure. Anyhow, let Kanga can go and hunt the other caribou before they wander off the map, which it really looks like they might be doing. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye just on the side, just in case we get another caribou revenge. I don't suspect we will. I think we'll be safe. And yeah, minus 14 outside and 2 degrees inside, so even a single torch isn't enough. I hope we don't lose a wart. And yeah, the multiplier keeps on dropping. Torch is not keeping it. Oh, keeping it warm enough. I guess it is the night time, so we could be safe there. I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Yeah, okay, we need more storage. That's a big thing. I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to mine out probably just this area here. Big old L, bit of an, it's that reverse L shape. Yeah, because that will be able to splice with the space that we need to store all the other items. Definitely, yep, I'm happy with that. But I guess we'll find out what we can do next in the morning, which is just it. Oh, it wasn't too much of a jump. Oh, nice. Blight. This game loves us already. Well, I think we're fine, because we've got the food, or we've got the capability to produce enough food right now, so there's nothing too much to worry about. But yeah, I think we're going to kill off these terriers, because they're using too much food. Can someone get around to getting the mining done? That would be lovely, thanks. It's been flagged. Mining is, though, a pretty low job, and Falcon's getting around to it. So, Falcon, I might as well make you a full-time miner. Because they always like having a full-time, where am I looking? Hunting, construction, repair, mine, here we go. Always like having full-time, at least someone being a full-time miner where possible. Maybe there we are, and drop that one down to 2. I think we'll be fine there. Okay, as much as I've said before, I hate the fact that we're digging into the mountain, but it's going to provide us with the space that we need. And it keeps us relatively safe as well. So let's get around to expanding the area as well. Our storage area, so bring it down. Awesome. It's going to give us plenty of space. Really happy about that. And then we can also go about marking some buildings to be built. I'm going to forget the corners just in the top section, I think. See how it goes, see how it looks. I think it will turn out well. And get on to building the other rooms. There we go. That should do the trick. And Kanka just locked himself in because I forgot to put doors down. That is stupid to me. Let's see where we're going to put it. I guess we can place it here, here, and there. That'll be fine. It's a bit of a shame that this wall's already been built. Kanga, you can't deconstruct the wall, can you? Or are you going to be stuck wandering inside? I think you're going to be stuck. Fu, can we get you to work on the door first then? Yep, now Kanga can get outside. Awesome. That gives us the other rooms that we need and gives us actually a few extra spare rooms, which is even better. Yep, that's pretty good then. Did we ever get around to making the extra wart? Spoilt by freezing. Darn it. Well, I guess you weren't too wrong, but okay, so we know that freezing or getting below 0 is an issue. I was really hoping we could avoid that. Minus 18 and 3, so a torch or a torch lamp wasn't enough. That is a shame. So how do we go about cleaning it out? I think Catherine has mentioned before that deconstruction is the only way to do it, but I wonder if there is another way of dealing with it. I'd like there to be. But I can't tell you. I don't know. Bad temperature, you can't fill it. But can you clean it? Probably not. Okay, well, deconstruction it is. What else? And this one also has to be deconstructed, and that one. Wow, we lost a lot of beer. You know, I was tempted at the start to use mad animal. Use, what is it, fire? But fires produce too much heat and don't last long enough. I mean, it might have been worth it because of the cold snap, but... The other thing I was thinking of is maybe if we thicken up the walls, that might help with temperature. It wouldn't because we don't have the space to thicken up on this side, which is actually a little bit of a shame. It's not the end of the world, though. It's never the end of the world. Okay, well, we're going to place the beds in these rooms. And, oh, raid. No, I wasn't expecting that one. Let's just get the beds placed while I remember to, and I think this room was lopsided. Yeah, but I think we can place it one off and table along this edge. No, actually don't do that. Let's cancel it and try it again. No, I think just a single bed. Single grand bed will do the trick. Oh, can I flick it around? Yep. Now that's going to annoy you if we leave that bed there. So I'm going to shift it just so it's a bit of a mirror. Yeah. Same with these, I just realised as well. Because they should be opposite each other, given where the position of the doors are. Yep, here and here, that should do fine. So it does mean we'll need more wood. But unfortunately, we'll have to leave it there for this episode because we've hit roughly the 30-minute mark. 30-minute mark and minus 24 degrees Celsius outside. So, hope you've enjoyed the episode. Not much did happen this time. Unfortunately, the raid is at the end of the episode, so you get to enjoy that next time around. So, if you have anything to say, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Now, as I've said in the past, and will say in the future, I'll see you around sometime.